everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Joni Young here if you're new. Thanks so much for joining me today for this fun velvet looking pumpkin painting tutorial. So I'm going to paint 3 pumpkins today, and I just absolutely love fall and Halloween, and these pumpkins are so whimsical and the colors are super pretty. This is something different. I think you guys are all going to really enjoy this, and I want to welcome all levels of painters. If you're just a beginner, you can join us as well. So let's just go over the canvas we're using. This is an 11 by 14 double primed and stretched canvas. I pre-painted it gray. I've got a number 9 filbert brush I'm going to start with. I've got titanium white, neon orange, neon rose, yellow ochre, Thalo green, and Mars black, a little bit of crimson red, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the first pumpkin that's in the background. So we're going to work background to foreground. So we want to build up to the foreground. We'll start with the one that's in the back. So the one in the back is going to be our turquoise one, and I'm going to start with black first. A little bit of water on my brush. And we'll just start with creating an oval and then bringing it down somewhat on a slant like this. We want to make sure we leave enough room for the stem. So we'll just rough in the stem here, a little curve. And a few little dabs, little scoops. So we're going to be painting over part of this pumpkin with the next 2 pumpkins. Just keep that in mind. We don't have to do too much detail down here where other pumpkin is going to be. Okay, so now the next step is to come in with those lines for our pumpkin, and just going to come inside here and start creating those lines that the pumpkin has. And it's going to kind of bubble up the front here, and then we're going to have another just skinny one on the outside. Let me just dry my brush off a little bit. Got a little bit of water in my brush just to help thin the paint out. And we'll add another one right inside here. So all I'm doing is just thinning out the paint that I've already got on here. And just kind of moving it around. You can sketch your pumpkins out ahead of time if you like. There's lots of ways to approach your painting. Okay, so I'm going to dry this off, and then we'll come in with our base coat. which is going to be our phthalo green, and then we'll bring up our highlights and softer tones with the titanium white. Okay, so I've got the phthalo green, a little bit of phthalo green. You can add a little bit of water if you have really heavy bodied paint. It's like mine. And I'm going to start with the outer one here. And we're just going to go over, because the gray, the black we used to sketch our pumpkin out is our mid-tone, it's our grayscale. So now we can just come over top with our phthalo green, our main color, and then we'll just add our highlights after. So pick a few of them to add more of the phthalo to. So you have some darker areas. So I'm going to mix up some of my white. Mix that in with the phthalo green. And I'm going to apply it to the outside one and then come in on the next one. See what a little bit of white does? Just really makes it stand out. Okay, so see how these ones go curved, look like bananas? This one is going to come, the one in the center comes out just a little bubble up at the top, comes up, and then right down, slightly wider in the middle here. I'm going to take a little bit more white. On the outer edges. Okay, we'll continue along. Pick up a little bit more white. And we're going to start to pull out and then wrap it around. Pull out and turn. A little bit more white. Okay, so I'm ready to start painting our next one. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of crimson, black, rose, and I'm just going to go from down here and over top of that turquoise one. Mix up those colors again. And we'll just paint the entire pumpkin this dark base color. Okay, then I'm going to take some white and rose. And we're going to do 4 main ones. So 1, more white, rose, our next one. Add a little bit more paint to it. And then just a little skinny hint of one around the edge. I'm going to take some black and I'm going to add the stem. I'll just come in the center here, up, and twist. just going to bring it up a little higher, and then I can make it look like there's some gold vines wrapping around it. We'll add a little curl right there. So as that one is drying, I can move over to this section and add our orange one. So I'm going to take a little bit of black, orange, some yellow ochre as well. And we're going to add this one on an angle over here. Pick up a little bit of water, paint it in. Don't worry about this, the color, this one showing through here, that's okay, because we're gonna go over top of it anyways with when we add a bit of white to our orange. We'll go ahead and add the little stem on here as well. Add a little scoopy thing right here for a base. Twist up. I'm just going to add a little shadow back there. Maybe a slight shadow right here on this green pumpkin. And I'll just blend it out, leaving it dark right there. Add some black right underneath. Okay, now that this is all dry, I can come in with a smaller filbert brush, a number 4 now. And I'm going to start applying some orange and some yellow ochre. First, just a little skinny line like that, and then I'm going to get in here and make it come up a little round point, get as close as I can to that other one. and then continue. The yellow ochre really helps bring out the orange. See, we're going to go up a little bit over that black. Pull in some yellow ochre. Now take some white, yellow ochre, and orange. We'll add our brightest areas. Just rinsing the excess paint out of my brush. And I'm going to come in between here and soften. And I'll just add a little bit of orange reflecting down here. And then a little bit of black. I'm just going to clean up this side here a little bit with some more white and phthalo. And I'll add some more highlights. You can really see as the acrylic paint dries, it dries a lot lighter. So it's this step here that really gives it that velvety look. Taking the time to add a bit of this light turquoise. A dryer brush can be helpful for this step as well, because it gives it that velvet texture of that fabric. I'm going to come in here with a shadow, phthalo green. And a little bit more black. We're just going to bring that black up into a little point right over here. And a little bit more white before we move on to that one. Just soften that a little bit. Bring more of the shadow in here. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse my brush out, get all that turquoisey green out of there, and I'm going to go back some more color. Isn't this color great? It's my Holbein. You can get a whole set of them. The colors I use quite often. They're just beautiful to work with. So I'm just applying nothing but the rose again, and then I'm going to come in with white for those velvety highlights. Okay, so I'm going to go right around the edge. A little bit more generous with the white right on here. And that little skinny one over there. Okay, for the next step, I'm going to be using my round brush. I've got a number 2 round brush, and I'm going to take white with some yellow ochre. Make sure you have a little bit of water in there too. And I'm gonna create some scrolls and make this look like it's gold. Just take it and wrap it around, and as it comes out and gets a little bit bigger, down at the base here, you're going to just push a little bit harder for those larger areas. And a few little lines that come down here. I'm going to mix up a little bit of black, a little bit of orange too. Thin it out, water it down, and this will just look like a little bit of a shadow. And then we want it to look the most sparkly and shiny is where you're going to add just white only. So you just pick a few little areas. Okay, then I'm going to take that darker base again, water down black with orange and yellow ochre. And I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to pull around first with this color, work my dark to my light. Just so you can see how you can do it both ways, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Then we're going to take the yellow ochre next. Add those little curly squiggles wherever you want. And then some white. I'm going to take a little bit more white and come around here and add it to my brightest highlights so it all kind of glows together, those bright areas. And I'm going to do the same. I'll just pick up a little bit of the turquoise along with my white. A little bit of yellow ochre in there. Again, this is just going to give it that velvety look at the top. Just gonna soften real quick here with a little filbert brush. I like that little bit of gold over the turquoise. Okay, now for this one, while I've got this brush and these colors on here, I'm gonna add yet another highlight because it's already getting darker as it dries. So I've got the yellow ochre, the white, and the rose. That little narrow one right off the side. My brush is quite dry. No water, just a little bit of paint. And then I'm going to take some black real quick. Get a little bit more of the rose and add that down there too. I think it kind of looks pretty just reflecting on the table. And then a little bit of black. Okay, back over to the liner brush. And we'll take a bit of black, yellow ochre again, and we'll continue along on our stem, or with our stem. Remember to add a little bit of water. It depends on what type of paint you're working with too. If you're using craft paints out of the bottles, they're runnier, so you may not need to. Okay, so I'm going to start at the tip there, start to wrap over, under, over. Now just the yellow ochre, same way we did those ones. And just add some little gold squiggly vines. Then white. You can mix your white with the yellow ochre. Add a little bit of black and green again, right in here. A few more little vines just with white to give this a little bit more of a shine. Okay, well, this painting is all done. This was a really fun one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Happy Halloween, enjoy the season, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!